So, we are going to be talking about Britney Spears today. I wanted to talk about Britney Spears and her conservatorship for a very long time. I remember making a community post asking you guys whether you have been in abusive relationships or not for a video on this topic. Because in my head, what Britney Spears was going through was very similar to what a person in an abusive relationship goes through, which now that we know what Britney Spears actually thinks about her conservatorship is not really that far off. So yeah, it's been about a year or so since I have wanted to make a video on this topic. And because of my very annoying perfectionistic brain that needs a video to be fucking perfect, even though I know it's never gonna be perfect. I am never gonna have a perfect script that includes all of that information perfectly, succinctly, in a way that people can digest it. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a video on this topic and say what comes to my mind. Hey guys, Machine here. So today we are going to be talking about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. If you don't know this already, Britney Spears recently, and by recently I mean about a day ago, came out and talked about her conservatorship. It is important to note that for reasons that we will discuss later on, Britney Spears has been mostly silent about what has been going on with her conservatorship. But now we do have some details. And as expected, the entire audio of her talking to the judge on the phone is available on the internet because, of course, it was leaked. It is available on YouTube. I will post the link in the description and I will be playing some of the clips here as well. So for those who don't know, which I'm assuming is none of you, Britney Spears is a very popular singer and songwriter. You may have heard her songs like Baby One More Time, Give Me More, Till the World Ends, If You Seek Me, Work, and many, 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 many more. And currently she is in a conservatorship. Here's the definition of conservatorship. Conservatorship, a practice under US law where a guardian is assigned to oversee not just a person's financial affairs but also his or her personal life. So Britney Spears is in a conservatorship which was put on her by her father. Conservatorship is not something that's commonly used for people who are young, like Britney Spears, but they are usually used for people who are quite old and have memory issues, like dementia or something like that. And currently she is put under conservatorship because in the eyes of the law, she is not capable to handle her own finances and her own personal life. But however, she is capable of doing multiple world tours. Very interesting, huh? So, as you can imagine, this conservatorship is quite abusive. So you might ask, how did it come to this? How did this happen? Well, essentially because her father is shit. Now you might ask, well, Jean, really? Just because her father is shitty, that doesn't mean that the entire legal system of California can just allow her father to take control over her daughter's life and her assets, right? That doesn't sound like something that should be possible. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's rewind a little bit. It is a very well-known fact that Britney's father was abusive. And actually, before Britney was born, Britney's mom filed for divorce and a restraining order. And essentially she said that she did not trust him to not hurt her. But in the end, she did not really go through with it, so yeah. It is also very well known that when Britney was little, her father and her mother would constantly have fights, and not just the verbal type. There were times when her father threw glasses on the floor and she would be very scared and she would run away out of her house and into her aunt's home. Which really says something, right? When your own child runs away from your home to your sister's home, that says that the environment in her home is not necessarily very healthy and is not necessarily good for a child. Or else, why the hell would a child run away from their own home? There are times when I want to be sympathetic towards Britney's mom. Like, it is clear from that description alone, she was also in an abusive relationship. But I can't be sympathetic towards her because it's not just about her. It's also about her child. If it was just about her, I would feel sympathetic, but she put her own child in that situation and I can't. There are things that her mom has pushed Britney to do that I simply do not agree with. Like, it was her mom who wanted Britney to be a star. And she did become a star, don't get me wrong. But, like, for example, Britney officially started working at the age of 11 for Disney for $5 an hour. And during that time, Britney's mom and Britney's dad almost went bankrupt because their 11-year-old daughter's $5 an hour salary was not enough. I don't know what's worse, the fact that Disney paid their child actors $5 an hour, or the fact that there are people in this world who force their children into working at the age of 11. I don't know what's worse. To me, it is as clear as day that Britney was born, made, and raised to become a star. And I just don't think that it's ethical to force that upon a child. I just don't think so. At the age of 11, no, come on. And her training actually began before that. At the age of 16, she wrote her first song, Baby One More Time, and she became very popular because of that song. With the music video of Baby One More Time coming out, it essentially had the same effect as Cardi B's, what was her song's name again? WAP. There you go. It essentially had the same effect as Cardi B's WAP. But you gotta remember that when Cardi B released her song, she was an adult, she knew all about the music industry, and she knew that creating a music video like the one that she did is gonna generate controversy and it's gonna bring her more clicks and it's gonna eventually turn into revenue. Which, okay, great, whatever. But at the time when Baby One More Time was released, Britney was 16 years old. I do not think that she made that video to generate controversy. I don't think that she had any idea about how music industry worked. She essentially did that because she was told to do that. With that video being dropped and Britney becoming very famous very quickly, she was asked a lot of inappropriate questions by the media. Which, by the way, Cardi B also gets. Like, what about the children? Do you have breast implants? Etc., etc., shit like that. But remember, Cardi B is an adult, and at the time, Britney was as young as 16 years old. You can tell in some of these interviews that she is very uncomfortable. And I cannot believe that it was normal for people who were interviewing Britney to ask her about her virginity, whether she has breast implants, or stuff like that. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that it was ever normal for someone to ask a 16-year-old about their virginity. That blows my mind. I'm gonna put some of the clips here just in case you think that I am making this up. I am not. This is how Britney was really treated in the media.
There's one subject we didn't discuss. Mm-hmm. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breasts.
You seem to get furious when a talk show host comes up with this subject. Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants, just in general?
Well, I think if that's what you want to do and that would make you happy, then I see nothing wrong with it. But I haven't done that. But I think it's sad that people, think I've done that because that makes them want to go out. And, some of the fans that look up to me, they either think bad of me or they may want to go out and do that. But that's not my fault because the press started that. But
exactly.
If you want to do that, that's fine. But I personally wouldn't do that. So.
Okay.
And this is not the first time that the media has been a problem for Britney. Like when she was no longer a child, she had the paparazzi all around her. When she would smoke, the paparazzi would take a snapshot of that and print it in the magazines saying whether Britney was a good role model or not. Imagine having that kind of a spotlight on you. It must be terrifying. She was essentially treated as an adult when she was a child and treated as a child when she was an adult. It's not just these little incidents, which do add up, by the way, but it's not just these tiny incidents. There have been numerous situations where Britney was holding her baby and the paparazzi would not give them space. Quite literally, would not give them space. And there was even one time that she almost fell with her baby. She was later spotted crying in a restaurant because of this incident.
We're on the other way.
And by the way, the paparazzi was allowed to do this because at the time, there were not really that many paparazzi laws. So they got away with it. They got away with almost putting Britney Spears and her baby's life in danger. So after you take all of that into account, it is understandable why Britney Spears would have her meltdown. The reason why she was put under a conservatorship. How many of us could experience what Britney had gone through and not have a meltdown? She had her meltdown and she was put in a hospital for 5150. So she was put under a conservatorship at the end. But one thing to note here is that she was not notified that she was being put under a conservatorship. The conservatee is usually notified 5 days before they're supposed to be put under a conservatorship so they can say that, no, I don't want to be put under a conservatorship. Especially not if this person is gonna be in charge or I want someone else to be in charge. It is a right of a conservatee to be notified. But she was not. She was not notified. Essentially, what her father did was convince the court that if she was notified, that wouldn't be good for her mental health. So therefore, she should just be put under a conservatorship before she's even given any knowledge of the fact that, well, she's being put under a conservatorship. For Britney's father to convince the court, they needed evidence that Britney Spears was not mentally fit, and they got that evidence from a doctor who interviewed her for 15 minutes. That's it. Just 15 minutes. And her freedom was taken away like that. And by the way, somehow they knew that this is so funny. Oh my god. It's not funny, but anywho. They all somehow knew that Britney's evaluation is gonna come negative before the test even happened, before the interview even began. How is that even possible? You are telling me that there's no corruption here. You're telling me that no one was getting paid off here. Really, huh? You think that this was all fair game? No, she had absolutely zero chance. Absolutely none. It wasn't just that, by the way. One by one, most of her rights as a conservatee were taken away by the court. And by the way, the same person who signed away all of her rights, she also signed off, essentially saying that Britney was capable of doing multiple world tours because, they can't really just take Britney to do a world tour. They have to get it signed off first, and this woman signed it off. There's no way in hell you're telling me that she was not being paid off. No way. You think that a judge would organically come to the conclusion that Britney Spears was mentally capable of doing multiple world tours, but was not capable of taking care of her own estate, taking care of her own money? Huh, really? There's no way. You cannot tell me that this woman was not being paid off. She definitely was. She's definitely being paid. I don't know how. Bitcoin, Ethereum, I don't know. I don't know the names of crypto coins, guys. I don't know how she's being paid off, but she is being paid off. And the situation is really sad because of just one meltdown that she had, all of her rights were taken away. Her own father threatened her, essentially saying that if she wants to see her kids, she needs to be in a conservatorship. That sounds very abusive to me. But yeah, that's the reality of Britney Spears right now. The sad part about this whole situation is most of us have been in abusive relationships. Like maybe we had an abusive parent or an abusive partner or something like that. To say the least, I do believe that most of us have in some way, shape or form lost control and acted in ways that are not necessarily ideal. Like for instance, in narcissistic abusive cycles, it's when you blow up that they cool down. Imagine in that situation, if your abuser was able to prove in the court of law that you are not mentally capable of taking care of yourself or your life savings, your estate, whatever, and was legally able to take control of every single thing that you've earned and worked for in your life. That's what happened to Britney Spears. The same father who created this abusive environment when she was little is now in charge of her and everything that she has worked for. All of this is horrifying. A lot of the things that Britney has gone through, the internet has already speculated of them. But now, because of a court hearing, we know that a lot of it was true and it's even grimmer than we expected. Like, for example, her father and everyone who's getting paid because she works and she's not even allowed to own the money that she works, doesn't want Britney to have children. Therefore, they were able to get an IUD implanted in Britney Spears so that she could no longer have children, and are successfully able to prevent Britney from going to the doctor to remove her IUD so she could have children that she wants. All she wants is a family.
And I would like to progressively move forward, and I want to have the real deal. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship, I'm not able to get married or have a baby. I have a ID inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the ID out so I could start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have children, any more children.
This isn't just about Britney Spears. This is about women's rights right now. I mean, come on. How is that even legal? To force someone to not have children? How is that even legal to implant something in another person's body? She was also forced into doing all these world tours when she didn't want it to. She just wanted to retire and be with her children. That's all that she wanted.
Recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney. So out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. Once you see someone, whoever it is in the conservatorship, making money making them money and myself money and working, that whole statement right there, the conservatorship should end. There should be no, I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money and work for myself and pay other people. It makes no sense. The laws need to change. What state allows people to own another person's money and account and threaten them and saying, you can't spend your money unless you do what we want you to do, and I'm paying them? I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. And then we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. And mainly, I didn't want to say it openly because I honestly didn't think anyone would believe me. To be honest with you, the Paris Hilton story on what they did to her to that school, I didn't believe any of it. I'm sorry, I'm an outsider, and I'll just be honest, I didn't believe it. And maybe I'm wrong, and that's why I didn't want to say any of this to anybody, to the public, because I thought people would make fun of me or laugh at me and say, she's lying, she's got everything, she's Britney Spears. I'm not lying. I just want my life back, and it's been 13 years, and it's enough.
This just makes me so sad. Working off prepared remarks, the singer spoke so quickly and so passionately that the judge was forced more than once to ask her to slow down for the sake of the court stenographer. Multiple times, Miss Spears drew attention to the fact that she was able to, quote unquote, make a living for so many people and pay for so many people while not controlling her own money. I'm great at what I do, she said, and I allow these people to control what I do, ma'am, and it's enough. It makes no sense at all. Which is true, it doesn't make any sense. She's not allowed to have a phone. She's not allowed to make phone calls without being monitored. She's not allowed to drive. She's essentially treated as a child. When she's an adult, she can own her own money. And even children have it better because children don't have to work, except in case of Britney. But you get the point. Children don't have to work. But she is forced to work. She was forced to do multiple world tours because her quote-unquote team forced her to do it. How is she able to do multiple world tours while still not being in charge of her own money? That's crazy. She has also said that she believes that the people who put her in this conservatorship should be in jail.
After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail.
Which I agree with. There is a lot more that Britney says. I will leave a link to the entire thing in the description. I will encourage you to check it out. So yeah, what Britney currently is going through is hell. I hope that Britney's conservatorship ends as soon as possible. I don't know when that might be, but I do hope that it does end because she does deserve to be free. I do like the fact that she has put out so many songs in the last few years. I have listened to almost all of them, but if she is being forced into making them and forced into doing all these world tours, I don't want them. I don't want that. It's fine. I could live without another Britney album. It's fine by me. I just wish that she was able to do what she wants. And this isn't just about Britney, by the way. It's also about rights of disabled people. It's also about women's rights. Everyone should be in control of their own body. No one should be forced into putting something inside their body that's gonna make them infertile, Oh, by the way, talking about disabilities rights issue, there is a wonderful video made by this creator who is also disabled. Oh my god, I am so fucking sorry. I do not remember her name. Oh my god. I will leave a link to her video as well in the description. I would highly encourage you to check it out, because she goes in depth about how the Free Britney movement is directly connected to the rights of disabled people. And I think she does a wonderful job at it. So yeah, that's all. That's all that I have for this video. Like this video if you liked it. Comment your thoughts down below about what you think. Do you think that the judge is being paid off or no? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.